YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with my MVP ladder. We update this every single week, going over the top 5 rankings for offensive MVP, defensive MVP, rookie of the year, and defensive rookie of the year. This one is for week 9, just before week 9 in the NFL kicks off. We update these constantly, and we also talk about our players of the week and your guys' player of the week, who you voted for here on our channel. And we'll talk about that first in just a second. We got extra content available on our Patreon, patreon.com/thegoathouse. Link in the description for more info. You get score predictions, playoff predictions, mock drafts, all that updated every single week. You get more as well. Trying to get to that 40K goal. Please help us out. Please get us there. We're trying real hard, and we appreciate anybody else that's trying and giving us their support. Full NFL content here at the Goat House all year long. Check us out on Twitter. As you see at the top right, there's a link in the description. But players of the week, week 8 MVPs, I went with Cooper Kupp. I mean, that to me, that was the definition of, the most valuable player to a team in a week. I mean, it felt like he carried the Rams. The Rams had a pretty comfortable win, but it felt like it was all Cooper Kupp. I mean, credit to the defense holding the Bengals to 10 points. But anytime Cooper Kupp just got the ball, I mean, this guy was going far. He was going crazy. I thought he put the team on his back, offense on his back for the most part. Nobody was really doing much of anything. Gurley couldn't really get going. I just think he had an insane game. Not that, Nick Bosa was an obvious choice, but you take away Nick Bosa, I think the Niners still win that game, but Nick Bosa is a hell of an addition to that Niners team. It's a great defense, but I just think Kupp was just the most valuable player for his team. As you see, Pigskin Pete took Nick Bosa, and then you guys, that's what the Goat House logo is, voted for Nick Bosa. The community, if you go to our channel and go to the community section, that's where you guys get the vote every single week. There's an AFC voting, and there's NFC, and then you put the winners together. You guys came up with Nick Bosa over Joey Bosa, the brother battle. Danny went with Aaron Jones. He had a great day. You like to see him getting involved in him receiving out of the backfield, catching the ball out of the backfield and downfield, involved in the passing game. And that's great to see from a running back in today's NFL, especially when the Packers are a little thin on receiver. No Devontae Adams, some guys beat up here and there. But Aaron Jones getting involved, that's very cool. And another Niner here, the junior goes with Tevin Coleman. He had a monster day, stepping up. Breida kind of limited. So that was big time for them. He got them going early. So I think that was a key. Get Coleman going early. Put the Panthers away. So you see a different variety of guys here, but 3 from the same, 2 being the same guy, but 3 votes from the Niners. So big day for them. So not a lot of changes this week. But for the offensive MVP, I still got Russell Wilson at 1. I still got Dalvin Cook at 2. Still got Christian McCaffrey at 3. Aaron Rodgers 4. And we had Deshaun Watson back in. He went out after last week. After week 7, I should say. After week 8, he's back in. Still continues to make ridiculous plays while under pressure, escaping sacks. Some even more than big plays. The biggest play possible on a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers seems to be heating up. Christian McCaffrey, carries that team pretty well. Dalvin Cook is the leading rusher, leading in touchdowns, leading in yards per carry, and making a lot of guys miss, whether it's breaking tackles or jukes. And I think he's really responsible for the Vikings passing game getting going too, because the run game opens up the pass game. Russell Wilson's still number 1, still making ridiculous throws, leading the NFL in rating and in touchdowns. Super impressive, just being clutch, especially with the offensive line not playing too great and you have injuries. Still my offensive MVP, but I to me, it was just between the top 2. It's just the season that Dalvin Cook is having is unreal. McCaffrey's kind of carrying his team a little bit. But Dalvin Cook has just been, to me, responsible for opening up, that pass game for the Vikings, and it's very good to see them go from, really bad in the run game to top tier, and it's because of what Dalvin Cook's able to do this year. For defensive MVP, I didn't change too much here. Well, I guess we added 2 guys in, but I still kept Stephon Gilmore at 1. A lockdown corner and a playmaking corner. There's just not too many good corners in football anymore. They're all disappearing. I guess the changes to the league in terms of, officiating and certain calls, but the changes to the league in terms of systems, offensive systems, the way the teams play. Corners are getting exposed a lot, and it's very rare to see a corner stay good consistently, and he's the top corner in football consistently. And it's, I think to me, corner has to be the hardest position to play on the defense side of the ball for sure. So Stephon Gilmore, number 1 for me. Shaquille Barrett, still at the top sack leaders, also has been a playmaker for the Bucs too. Za'Darius Smith at 3. I mean, that was a big time free agency pickup for the Packers. I mean, what this guy does for this team kind of goes unnoticed unless you watch the Packers, a lot every week, whether it's live or the replay. I mean, this guy lines up everywhere. He lines up as an edge rusher. He'll line up inside almost as a D tackle, more in the 3 technique spot. And he just continues to get pressure. He's too fast for the guys inside. He's too strong for the guys outside. He's just super impressive. Danielle Hunter at 4. Danielle Hunter actually is 3rd in the NFL in sacks and 1st in the NFL in quarterback pressures. So that is super impressive. We saw him with a big strip sack in last week's game against the Redskins. And then Myles Garrett, top of the league with Shaquille Barrett in sacks there with the Browns. So he's making some noise and becoming more of a playmaker too, getting his hands on the ball, strip sacks. Love to see it. There's a lot of guys that, a lot of defensive players that's tough to leave out here. Guys like Chandler Jones, Devin McCourty, a lot of Patriots guys. Jamie Collins is playing out of his mind this year. You look at some of the other top defenses too. The Titans defense. I think a couple underrated guys. Jayon Brown, I think, is one of the better middle linebackers in football right now. But another main guy that I strongly consider here was Logan Ryan. If you haven't seen any of Logan Ryan, he is, and a former Patriot, of course, he is tearing it up this year. So that's a guy that's number 6 right now. That guy's not being talked about enough. Super impressive from him. So a lot of good defensive players. Looking at the offensive rookie of the year, we see Josh Jacobs has been at number 1 for quite a while. Terry McLaurin 2, Gardner Minshew 3, Kyler Murray 4. Those 3 kind of been rotating a little bit. They got a battle there. See if anybody can catch Josh Jacobs. DK Metcalf is at 5. He's becoming a legit weapon for the Seahawks. Touchdown machine. There's quite a few other receivers, too. You got Preston Williams from the Dolphins, A.J. Brown from the Titans, Marquise Brown if he comes back for the Ravens. I think we're going to start to see David Montgomery get going for the Bears. We've seen Miles Sanders super active last week, was big time. Strongly considered Miles Sanders. And then Alexander Madison, the other Vikings running back, is running very well, especially for a backup. Super impressive. So we're starting to get a longer list of the offensive rookies. It was kind of a short list before. And then for the defensive rookie, it's got to be Nick Bosa right now. The impact he is making, he is so dominant. And the best part about this, along with him, along with Josh Allen, and maybe even Brian Burns, these guys look like polished pass rushers already. I mean, Nick Bosa and Josh Allen are in the conversation for, top-tier pass rushers in the NFL in general. Brian Burns has been excellent this year as well. Devin Bush and Chase Winovich remain in the same spot. Not too many defensive guys after this, though. You got guys like Dexter Lawrence. You got guys like Max Crosby, who's one of my sleepers. And just a few other guys. Not too many defensive guys, but there's a clear top group. Nick Bosa at the top after his insane performance last week, clearly at the top here, and he could be in the running in no time for Defensive Player of the Year. Actually, that would be something. He's got to hope this guy stays healthy. I really hope he does, because he's just great for football. The Bosa brothers are in general. But that's going to do it. Let me know your guys' thoughts, your guys' rankings. We do this every week. We try to update them, try to change them based on what's going on. At the end of the year, we'll have my final picks. After the season's over, we'll go through my top 100, so we get to see all these types of things. And we also have recaps, power rankings, predictions, plenty more here at the Goat House. Got you covered NFL-wise, college football-wise. So please subscribe. Join us for all those videos. Plenty already on the channel, so check those out. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Goodbye.